Mr. Collins, a ruthless billionaire, lived in a world where wealth and power were everything. He had one son, Alex, a young man of 28, raised in luxury, but burdened by the high expectations his father placed upon him. While Alex had everything anyone could wish for, expensive cars, designer clothes, and the finest education, he struggled to meet his father's expectations. Mr. Collins wanted Alex to marry into an influential, wealthy family to secure a powerful alliance that would further his business empire. However, Alex had his own heart set on Eva, a kind-hearted woman from humble beginnings. Eva worked hard to support her family but lived a modest life, far from the riches his father expected in a daughter-in-law. When Alex told his father about Eva, Mr. Collins was furious, seeing the relationship as a threat to his legacy and a waste of resources. In a fit of anger, Mr. Collins set an impossible challenge for Alex. He demanded that Alex marry a woman who was even lower than Eva, a beggar from the streets, to prove he could accept his father's vision. The deal was simple. If Alex succeeded in making this beggar woman marry him, he would have the right to marry Eva. If Alex failed, he would have no choice but to marry the woman Mr. Collins had chosen for him, a wealthy socialite from a prestigious family. Alex, desperate to avoid losing the woman he loved and fearing his father's wrath, agreed to the challenge. Little did he know, this journey would lead to discoveries that would change his life forever. As Alex set out to fulfill his father's ridiculous challenge, he encountered a woman named Sophie, a beggar who lived on the streets, struggling to survive. Initially, Alex viewed Sophie as nothing more than a pawn in his father's game. But as he spent time with her, his perception of her began to shift. Sophie was not what she seemed. Despite living in poverty, she was kind-hearted, intelligent, and remarkably resourceful. Over time, Alex found himself drawn to her warmth and resilience. He began to question everything: his father's values, the importance of wealth, and even his motives. As their relationship deepened, Alex realized that Sophie, the beggar his father despised, was more than just an object to win in a bet. She was someone who possessed qualities far more valuable than mere money or status. The deeper Alex got into the situation, the more conflicted he became. He started visiting Sophie regularly, offering help under the guise of charity, all the while growing closer to her emotionally. As they spent more time together, Sophie began to reveal pieces of her past. She spoke of her family, once wealthy, who lost everything due to her father's failed business ventures. Sophie had been forced to work tirelessly to support her family and had adopted a new identity to avoid being recognized by old acquaintances. Alex was stunned. This woman, whom he had seen as a mere beggar, was the daughter of a once wealthy family with connections that could rival his own. Sophie had kept her true identity hidden for fear of judgment, unwilling to take advantage of the privilege that had once been hers. As the day of the arranged social event drew near, where Alex was expected to present his chosen wife to the high society, Alex was faced with a decision that would change everything. He could either follow his father's wishes and marry the wealthy woman Mr. Collins had selected for him, or he could stand by Sophie despite her humble beginnings. Alex couldn't ignore the love he had for Sophie anymore. He knew she was the one for him, but he was afraid of the consequences. When Mr. Collins saw Alex and Sophie together at the event, he was furious. He couldn't believe his eyes. His son, the heir to a billion-dollar empire, was standing beside a woman from the streets. Mr. Collins demanded that Alex explain himself, his voice dripping with disdain. But Sophie, standing tall, didn't let the billionaire's harsh words affect her. She revealed her true identity. She was the daughter of a once wealthy family, with business knowledge and social ties that could rival the wealthiest of the wealthy. Her family's fortune had been lost in a failed investment, but her intelligence and dignity were unmatched. Mr. Collins was stunned. The woman he had dismissed as a beggar was someone with a future far brighter than his own. Sophie had connections with influential people and was already rebuilding her family's wealth in secret. It was then that Mr. Collins realized that his obsession with money and status had blinded him to the most important thing in life: true love. Sophie wasn't just the daughter of a wealthy family. She was a woman of substance, with a heart full of integrity, intelligence, and strength. Alex, who had been torn between his father's expectations and his love for Sophie, had made the right choice. His father's rigid views were shattered, and for the first time, Mr. Collins realized that the happiness of his son mattered more than any amount of money or power. The shocking twist left everyone at the event in awe. Alex and Sophie's love story wasn't about wealth or social status. It was about finding someone who truly understood and valued them for who they were. Mr. Collins, now forced to confront his prejudices, had no choice but to accept that his son had made a choice based on love, not money. The billionaire learned a valuable lesson, that true worth can't be measured by the size of one's bank account, and that love transcends social standing. Alex and Sophie's love story became a symbol of hope, a reminder that wealth and status may bring power, but love brings true happiness. In the end, Alex and Sophie married, not because of a bet or pressure from his father, but because they had found something far more precious, a love that would endure.